We begin the day with a bromance that's about to bloom. It is no secret that U.S. President-elect Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin like each other. During his campaign, Trump created controversy by saying Putin was more of a leader than U.S. President Barack Obama. Well, now Trump is preparing to move into the White House. And for Putin, it is springtime for U.S.-Russia ties. Today, in his State of the Nation address, Putin admitted relations are not good, and he said Russia is not to blame, and he admitted the situation should improve on proper terms. A clear signal from one strong man to another.
Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin.
The Kremlin promised it had something unexpected in store for President Putin's address, and Vladimir Putin delivered, focusing his speech on the internal conflicts facing his country, even criticizing Russia's handling of its own economic crisis. The main reason we're being called to account for our own economic woes lies in our own mistakes. Russia doesn't invest in itself. We lack modern technology and high-level professional training. These are economic challenges. He didn't address the elephant in the room, Syria. However, Putin did express optimism over relations with China and India, and even with Washington as well. The cooperation between Russia and the USA to find solutions to regional and global conflicts is in the best interest of the entire world. We share a responsibility regarding security and stability. The US's own choice of Donald Trump probably played a large role in President Putin's change of heart regarding Western leaders, and Washington in particular. But what do average Muscovites think when they read the word USA? We asked them, and were surprised by the result. The Kremlin has only recently softened its position, but Russians are describing America with terms rarely heard here in recent years. Great, gigantic, friendship, and even love. Not a mention of the widely touted rekindled Cold War. Vladimir Putin also appealed to Russia's sense of civic pride in helping lead the country out of economic crisis. The future of our land depends on us, on the work ethic and talent of our citizens, on their sense of responsibility and success. Yes, we can, together. That was Vladimir Putin's message for the Russian people and the international community, including the USA, a sentiment echoed by many here in the Russian capital.
Despite the already cold winter here in Moscow, Russians are looking forward to warmer relations with the USA.
And until relations with Western powers begin to thaw, President Putin will have to find workable solutions that his government can also afford.
Russia as a strong force to be respected but not feared. Now, Putin wants his countrymen to believe that. However, once you cross the border from Russia into the Baltic states, the reality becomes very different. Our next report takes us to Latvia, where preparations are underway for the Russia that Putin doesn't want the world to see.
A military parade marking Latvia's independence from Russia. It's a show of strength, as is this military exercise in the Latvian countryside. After Russia's annexation of Ukraine's Crimea region, the small Baltic nation fears that its independence is once again under threat.
Crimea changed our thinking about our future, because we were very happy about what we have, but the Crimea shows that we need more strong army, more money. We should invest in these capabilities.
Araju in Latvia is the largest military training ground in the Baltics. These Latvian soldiers are training alongside Brits, Americans and other NATO troops, only 150 miles away from the Russian border.
Latvia, with its capital Riga, is a member of both the European Union and NATO. Recently, Latvia's allies have increased their military presence in the country, but for the foreign minister, Russia still feels too close for comfort.
We have enormous kind of debate about the budget, about the taxation policy, but there is only one item in the budget law that nobody disputes, and that's a defense budget. We are not in panic, we are not fearing anything, but we are cautious.
On the streets of Riga, there's indignation, anger and concern. Like in Crimea, ethnic Russians make up almost 1/3 of the Latvian population. leaving it vulnerable to Russian influence. And the election of Donald Trump, who declared he would not necessarily challenge Putin's moves, has added to the concerns of Latvians.
We don't know what Putin thinks. We don't know what Russia thinks. We don't know what the elite thinks. So, I mean, it's definitely worse for us that Trump was elected. How much worse, we don't know.
I try to not think about it, but I hope everything will be okay. We try to think for best. We don't think that Trump could be that stupid, actually.
Latvians still believe that being in NATO and being in the European Union, it means something. So we hope that it will still mean that they will not start a war.
Back on the training ground just outside of Riga, American paratroopers on military exercises. The message here: solidarity and deterrence.
Latvia sees a real threat from Moscow, and there is the concern that that is a problem a US President Donald Trump might not know enough about and might not care enough about. So Latvia and the other Baltic states are making preparations just in case.
Just in case. I'm joined now at the big table by Sarah Pagung. She's an expert on NATO and Russia at the German Council of Foreign Relations here in Berlin. Sarah, it's good to have you on the day. Let's look at Putin's world right now. We've got the U.S. president is Donald Trump. The European Union appears weak. It could fall apart. NATO seems unsure of itself. I mean, is Vladimir Putin, he's living out his dream world, isn't he?
It's in fact a pretty nice situation for him. And I really wonder that today in his speech of nation, he was really like appeasing, and he didn't really feel this moment of triumph, and that was pretty remarkable to me.
Yeah, he sounded like a man of peace.
Yeah.
How real is this reset that he's offering the U.S. now via Donald Trump?
Like in his speech, he didn't really offer anything. Like the speech was pretty without any content.
And he didn't say Donald Trump's name one time,
he didn't.
did
He didn't mention. He just said the American administration.
Right.
But of course, he hopes for a better relation with U.S. And he knows that if Clinton would have been elected, relations would have been far worse. And now he hopes for a better off and maybe like more space for Russia to act in international order and an approach of more equal partnerships towards USA.
He knows that if Hillary Clinton had won, Hillary Clinton is not a foreign policy novice. Donald Trump is. And you've got a foreign policy novice facing Vladimir Putin. Obviously, he's going to want to take advantage of that. Is there anyone or any force that will be able to limit Vladimir Putin now?
We'll see what Trump really actually will do, because his statements on Russia were pretty ambivalent. We had like these statements on Trump where he really liked Trump and really liked Putin and said that he's a really good leadership person. And we also have statements where he threatens Russia to act military against it. So we really have to see what comes out of it in the end. But of course, Putin right now, he's a pretty good tactic. So what he wants to do is taking advantage in Syria, in Ukraine,
right,
and also regarding the missile defense in Europe.
In Europe. Putin, we know, faces elections in 2018. Yeah. Does he have anything to worry about? His popularity ratings are really high. The media, basically, in the country is not independent. I mean, it's a walk in the park for him in 2018, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks good for him. Until 2018, there's still a lot of time left. Right. A lot can happen. We saw that in the Arab Spring, for instance. But Russia is pretty stable right now. And at the moment, we don't expect that he would lose any elections due to the media, the state controls, due to the new election laws, and due to this popularity regarding his foreign policy. But we'll see how far he gets with having no concepts on economics, having no concepts on developments in the future. He may win in 2018, but we don't know what's going to be up in 10 years, for example.
Exactly. Sarah Pagung with the German Council of Foreign Relations. Thanks a lot. We appreciate you being on the day.